everybody. This week was busy. I got a lot of things done this week, which is surprising, but here we go. I got 20 baby penguins done. 10 in pink and 10 in blue. I have to do 10 more in black and gray. But that is what I got done this week. I got 20 little penguins done. I'm not going to show you all the penguins at once, at least not right now. Maybe the thumbnail, but there will be proof. You will see crochet videos of me making these. I may never want to do a penguin again after this. I love the pattern. I use the pattern a lot for my yellow chicks as well. Here's an example of one. I just modify it and use one color, or well, yellow instead of changing colors. Super cute, super fast. This pattern designer is Squishy Moo on Instagram. You should check her out. Great pattern. It's my go-to. It's my go-to chick pattern. And it's my go-to penguin pattern. So the next thing I've been doing is I've been making some more drift octopi. I finished one of these that looks just like this on the live with Kat last Wednesday, but I started this one and I didn't get it quite finished. Or was it the red one? I finished the red one and then I started on the one that looked like this. But that one's actually behind me. You can't see it right now because of the camera angle. But there are two in this yarn called Tabby, and this is the second one. So I got this one done this week. I don't know if I want to count the first one I got done in Tabby. It was last Wednesday. I don't know. It's done. There's four drift octopi, because here's number 4. Here's number 4. I love this yarn for the octopus. I absolutely love it. He's extra curly when he sits. You can curl these all the way up. Isn't he gorgeous? I love him. Anyway, so 4 drift, 20 Squishy Moo. Oh, drift is by the Crochet Carpenter. I mentioned that last week, but there's 4 of these total now. Like I said, I don't think I got... Time doesn't make sense to me right now, but I got this one done this week, and I think I got this one finished. So the next thing I've been working on is I've got a couple videos coming out eventually for thrifting yarn, and then I've got one coming out. I've got a couple free patterns that I'm working on. One being, and this I've done earlier. It wasn't this week, but it's a guinea pig, a KV. We are working on releasing this pattern as a free pattern. It's my own. I made it last year sometime because I had a lot of KV guinea pig people at the rabbit show that I sold my stuff at, and the KV people said, make them and we will come and we will buy them, and they absolutely did. So I love their support, and I don't think they get a lot of guinea pig toys or plushies, so I made them a guinea pig in a couple sizes, but this is my favorite size. This is Dreamland, Cover Story Dreamland yarn. I usually put a little stem on it and give it a little vine and make it a pumpkin guinea pig, but here is the basic shape. And then I made one in white with black eyes, because apparently this is a guinea pig color. I don't know that much about them, but I do try to get accurate things. So this one's ear is a little low right here. It needs to be a little bit higher, like a stitch or two higher. It needs to start a little higher. I'm left-handed, so I can't always start in the same place that I should. Like I started up here, but down here I actually started lower. I start down here, I think. I need to put this up a little higher. So although this is a attempt at a pattern test, like I pattern test my patterns before I send them out to testers, obviously. This one is kind of oops, not quite right. But I'll probably put them on the table in the market, just in case some person wants this little guinea pig anyway. He didn't turn out quite the same as this one. This one came out a little bit longer. I thought I counted the rows and they're the same. Oh, I forgot to pull in the cheeks. Okay, that helps a little bit. I think the eyes need to come up a little, one row higher too. Anyway, it's going to be a free pattern on YouTube when it's finished, and maybe on Ed's Instagram as well. So I might have it both places. I don't know. Maybe it's just on YouTube. Anyway, that's the one I want to focus on, so probably just YouTube. That being said, this guy is also something I did this week. Not this one. This one's earlier. This was last week. This one was finished this week. And now, the last thing I've been working on this week, and I just got it because the Celestial Homebody was like, oh, look what I made. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the cutest thing ever. I have geese. I need to make this. And it is Crochet Grove's Shelf Goose. Oh my gosh. It's ridiculously cute. My business name is Out of the Barn Crochet. So I need a goose in my background forever. It is so cute. I don't do a lot of Crochet Grove's patterns because they're really popular, and part of being different means doing different things. But oh my gosh, she nailed this so hard. I had to get it, and I had to. I have some of her patterns, I just don't tend to make them. They're gorgeous, well-made patterns. But she nailed this goose. Do I kind of wish it had... I guess you could move the feet back and change the angle a little bit. But she nailed it. She nailed the shelf goose. Like, how cute is that? Seriously. Anyway. I am working on a second one. That's how cute it is. Right now. Right now. I actually messed up the beak on this first goose. I ended up making it a little bit too big somewhere, and then so it was at 12 stitches a little too early. So instead of increasing, I just left it at 12, so it's a little, it doesn't taper quite the same as this one does. You can see the difference. The tapering difference. That's okay though. This one's gonna be just as cute, maybe cuter. And this one is probably gonna just live at my house on my shelf behind me, somewhere where you can see it forever, because I absolutely adore this goose. I don't have a porch goose, but I do have 4 very live, very real geese. They're Toulouse. They're called Toulouse. That's the breed. I think I pronounced it right. I could have pronounced it very, very wrong. Correct me if you know the breeds of geese. But I have geese, and that's an adorable goose. And I'm ranting, or rambling. However, she nailed it, as always. So that's what we're working on this week. We're working on pattern. We're finishing up this pattern for the KV. We are working on inventory. I'm working on getting this video out to you on time. On Tuesday. I don't know what time Tuesday. Maybe I'll do a little more. But the point is that, oh my gosh. We live on a farm, there are flies, and they are bugging me tonight. Anyway, that is what we're doing this week. Here's some more footage of it. Hi everybody, and welcome back to Ava Barn Crochet Creations. I'm Molly, and it's been 2 weeks since I last posted a video. I have been really busy trying to get this baby situated, and with my husband going back to work, that's left me kind of trying to hold it together as you know, time marches on and it feels like everything's falling apart a little bit. So baby's fine, we're fine. He's breastfeeding kind of, but I'm also pumping and, you know, trying to stay ahead of him in milk. So there hasn't been a ton of crochet going on, especially when you account for the fact that it's been 2 weeks. Last week I did crochet 20 plus plushies, but they were tiny little penguins. I don't think I mentioned those in the last video. It was gonna be the next video, but what can I say? I crocheted a bunch of the little squishy moo penguins. 20 of them, 10 in blue, 10 in pink. I've got some black ones. I'm gonna do 10 of those, and then I've got some larger ones and bigger yarn with a bigger hook that I'm gonna do, just so I can have some price variety in my November market, which is my next market. It's the only one I have scheduled for the rest of the year. I don't know if that will stay, but it feels probably like that's gonna be my last market for the year. I'm just gonna take time, keep things on my website, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time at the markets because it's hard with a baby. That being said, I did have some fun this week, these last 2 weeks. I have this kind of cool idea that it's a little cheesy, but I think it's going to be fun, and it requires some characters. So I think I mentioned Crochet Grove's new goose. I think I did in the last video. If not, I will show you that as well. But I took that pattern and I love the pattern design. It's super cool. But I wanted it to kind of look like a goose when it's angry. And they get angry a lot. So if you have ever met a real goose, or maybe you have a farm and you have real geese, or you've been on a farm with real geese, they are loud and they're grumpy. And they, as sweet as you can try to make them, they still have an attitude. So I took this pattern and all I did was I moved the feet. So the pattern's supposed to be like this, and the wings are supposed to go back a little bit farther on the body, like back here, and they're not supposed to be quite as big. So this is a shelf goose. I didn't change the pattern much. In fact, all I did was move the feet from, that would be here, back here, make the wings bigger. I did add another increase row, and then another row of single crochet to make them longer and bigger. And then I put them way up higher on the body, because a goose will come at you like, he's so angry. So they do kind of take this stance, and even if they just kind of sit back behind him, that's a very accurate, that's, if you've ever met a goose, you might have met it coming at you like this. Like, if only we could show the hissing. I will put a clip of my real geese in here. So, you know, I made, and he kind of sits, he's a little top heavy. He kind of falls over because this is not his, not the shape or not the way he was supposed to be made. I think if I made him again, which I will, I think. So it ends up here. I could extend the tail a little bit just to give him a little more body, like heaviness in the butt. Or I could just put a couple like pond rocks or aquarium rocks in the bottom of him. I'm trying to get some out. You know what I mean? The glass rocks at the bottom of people's aquariums. These things. I could put a couple of these in the bottom of him and kind of just level him out a little. Because he likes to flop forward. But if you put something like right here, you can kind of keep him sitting upright. I'm using my phone right now because the sound on my other mic is really messed up. And I can't really adjust the camera too much without it all falling down. So I'm just going to have to bear with me here. Trust me, he doesn't really sit up very well. But anyway, I gave him some angry eyes because, well, they tend to be angry. And this guy is going to be the antagonist to this little idea I have. And you'll have to figure out the rest later when I tell you, hopefully. But this one likes to cause trouble. And it's kind of a leader of a gang, of a goose gang. And I'm not going to say anymore. But here it is. The angry goose. So I made this guy. He was a lot of fun to make. I'm going to make him again. But there's that. And then next I had to make this horse. And this horse is by KW Fiber Art. And it is Percy the Pony and Friends. And this pattern could be a donkey, a unicorn, or a pony. And I went with the pony, the horse. And I gave him so here he is. He's so cute. Get the mane out of his eyes. He's so cute. My little pony. Anyway, I love this guy. He's cuddly. I used the bag yarn you can get off of Premier. I think it's Premier, the Premier website. The kind of mystery end bag where it's like a bag deal where you get a bunch, like 3 skeins for $5. This yarn does not feel, it's soft, but it feels rough at the same time. If that makes any sense. Like it's going against the grain, it feels like it should be smoother. It's softish. Not like crocheting with it, it's not soft. It's a pain in the butt to work with but when it's made up, it kind of has like a nice texture to it. And I like it for this horse, and I love the color of it. And I used, this is demi pearl, I think. Or no, it's plush. It's Loops and Threads plush. And then I used Bernat for the white. I love the contrast on that. And then I used, I think this is, I can't think right now. He's really soft. I think this is Little Bunny. Yeah, okay. Anyway, this is Percy the Pony by KW Fiber Art. He worked up great. I adore him. I'm gonna probably keep this one. He's just so cuddly. I'll probably give him to Gideon when he's older. When Gideon's older. He does have safety eyes, but I made sure they were in there really good. And, you know, personal choice, I can give my own kids safety eye toys because my older 2 survived with toys with safety eyes. You just have to pay attention to them. I will still always give the warnings to families that purchase toys with safety eyes, but I'm pretty confident with my eyes placement and security. Anyway, So this is also for the little surprise thing. And we're running out of time. My boss behind me. Oh, you can't see him. Anyway, my boss is right behind me in the swing, and he says that time is running out. My second to last make this last couple weeks was this adorable pig. This is by, I'm pretty sure, hold on, I had it up here. The Yarn Zoo. I love their patterns. This one is from a pattern pack called the Barnyard Chubs. There's a sheep, this, and a cow. I think that's the only ones in there. No, there's a donkey too. You could make a donkey, a sheep, a cow, or this pig. I'm gonna make some sheep as well. But for now, this adorable little pig, I made him in, I believe this is Big Twist Plush. Yeah, this is Big Twist Plush. It's my favorite pink. And then this is actually, I think it's the Demi Pearl. I think it's Demi Pearl. Yeah, it's Demi Pearl. And, what's the colorway? Cork. Anyway, I thought it looked pretty cute. I adore this little pig. Anyway, my last item that I did this last week, well, I just finished him, is another Pammy Dolls kitty cat. I love this pattern. This is my new go-to cat pattern. It just works up pretty fast, and it's loafy, but not the typical loaf. So I don't know, I just like this vibes. I just want to do something different than a loaf cat. I probably will do some little mini loaf cats to keep up with the sales of easy small things. However, this Pammy cat's probably gonna go for $25. I have some orange Pammy cats left, and then the calico one sold immediately from a few weeks ago. But this little guy has like self-striping spots. Like they're stripes, but they're spots. This yarn is Cover Story Dreamland, and the colorway is right in front of me, Pebble Beach. I love this yarn. I don't use it as much as I love it. Like, for as much as I love it, I don't use it enough. But I made a rainbow dragon that sold to a friend of mine, and it was a snuggler, a huge one, because it's really thick yarn. It's thicker than Bernat in a lot of cases. But I love this, and I want to see how the Pebble Beach worked up in the cat, and I love it. It's a nice little tiger striped kitty cat that I didn't have to stripe at all. So I'm making a second one right here, right here. It's working up now. It's no-sew, so it's easy. I gotta surface crochet the ears on and then do the nose and finish it and stuff it, and it'll be done. So that's what I'm working on this week. It's not a lot. I have a whole list of things to get done, but honestly, life is taking the front row, the lead right now. My boss behind me is telling me off. Hello and welcome back to Out of the Barn Crochet Creations. I'm Molly. We have some Parfait Chunky and bubblegum, and we're going to see how many little chunky penguins we can make with one skein. Here's the big reveal. I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, put a view. 8, 9, and a half. So we've made 9.5 pink little penguins. I'm also using baby bear in white and possibly baby bear in yellow for the feet and the beak. But this is a free pattern on Instagram. You should check it out because it's free and easy and they work up really fast. And there goes my penguins. So if you can make 9 little penguins with one skein of Parfait Chunky, that turns into about 52 cents a piece for just the Parfait Chunky because each skein is $4.99. So divided by 9.5, that turns into about 52 cents, maybe 53 cents per penguin. Of course, that doesn't include the white, that doesn't include the yellow, that does not include the safety eyes or the stuffing. So, or the time it takes you to make them, which takes me about 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe for a single penguin. So with all that in mind, make sure you price your items accordingly so that you get paid for your work. But anyway, there you go. There's your answer. 9.5 penguins. That's a 5mm hook, by the way. And my tension is pretty snug. Your results might vary. If you've ever done this, tell me how many penguins you got. So I am working on some more penguins. This is 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's 3 in the bag already from the other day. I'm working on 10, so I'm working on number 8, 9, 10, so 3 more total, and then we're going to do black and gray ones, and then I will be done with penguins for hopefully a while. So yeah, here we go. Hey Molly, why are you crocheting in the dark? Well, because there is a very cross baby behind me, and he doesn't want to sleep. So, we are watching YouTube videos and crocheting in the dark. Possibly all night long. I'm getting a lot of penguins done though. One last thing is I was watching the Celestial Homebody and I bought one of her little spooky ghost pumpkins. Isn't it cute? I was like, I will buy that. Send that to me. So it's super cute. I love it. I love how he just pops up. It's gonna sit behind me on my shelf. I'll work on getting a better angle for my camera as I do this some more. Oh, and this shirt is also by the Celestial Homebody, Yarn Chicken Champion. Yep, that's me. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I will talk to you later. I hope you stick around as I transition into learning how to do this with an infant. As you can hear, he is ready to go. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! Do I look a little sleep deprived? Do I look like I need to take a nap? I might. Yeah, I kind of do. I need a nap for like the next 3 weeks. I just need to sleep solidly. But, you know, that happens with a baby.